Well, national politics have certainly heated up the state's political environment. Arkansas will have a hotly contested Senate campaign in 2010, as well as 3 open congressional races in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd congressional districts. In our most recent Talk Business Quarterly poll, we found that just 20% of Arkansans had a favorable view of Congress, while 75% held an unfavorable opinion. This last week, I caught up with our 2 political analysts who helped interpret this poll, Democratic consultant Robert McLarty and Republican Clint Reed. I asked both men, starting with McLarty, has the angry, red-hot political temperature with voters cooled down some?
Yeah, I think so, Roby. A lot of things happened before Christmas, and the holidays helped. There was a break after the Senate broke with the health care vote. We had New Year's, and then Mother Nature set in, and we had 52 inches in D.C. So with the federal government not working for a week, there tends to not be much done in D.C., and in this case, it's really helped calm the atmosphere, and I think that is showing up in Arkansas.
I think it's starting to cool off a little bit. I think since Congress has been in and out of session, a lot of things that are some of the bigger issues are coming off the front burner. I think the Obama administration has sensed that they need to cool their heels a little bit. So I think that there'll be an ebb and flow up and through the filing period, and then we'll gear back up. I suspect the environment will change, for the good or for the bad, depending on your perspective between now and the primary. And then I suspect we'll see another lull through the summer. So I think the die is pretty much cast. I think both sides, Democrats and Republicans, will be looking forward to talking to independent voters, and I think that'll be the difference between who wins and who loses.
And as Reed said, those independent voters are crucial for this year's candidates. Our most recent poll shows them siding heavily with Republican opinions versus Democratic ones. Take President Obama's job approval rating in Arkansas, which is 37% overall. While 75% of Democrats approve of the president and his job performance, 9% of Republicans approve, 23% of Democrats disapprove, compared to 90% of Republicans. Now, among independent voters, only 19% approve and 79% disapprove of President Obama's job performance. Is this trend set in stone, or could it be reversed? Republican Reed takes the first crack.
Swing is king in Arkansas, and if you look at Arkansas politics over the years, independent voters right now, I believe, are afraid. And if you look at the polling data that we've done, also some other data, they're not happy with Congress. They're not happy with the direction that the country's headed in. They're certainly not happy with the job that Barack Obama is doing as president. So I think they're looking for an alternative. Republicans right now happen to be the alternative. I do think Republicans still have to make the case for why independents vote for them. And that's why I think, is it reversible? It could be reversible. Senator Lincoln can spend $10 million. Anything's possible. I do think this election is still pretty much wide open. Favors Republicans on the Senate side and in the 2nd Congressional District. But I think independents will be a battleground. There'll be $20 million spent on 300,000 votes.
It's common to see that with whoever's in the White House. You'll see the independents line up a little bit more on the opposite side. We saw that with when President Bush was in the White House. The independents were step in step with the Democrats. I think the key for the Democrats to control or keep controlling a lot of the seats that they have today, it's really not necessarily swinging that trend to come back onto their side, but really lowering the margins. Right now, the margins are really high in favor of the Republican, and the lesser those numbers are for the Republicans to count on, the better the Democrats will be in the end. It's all going to be about the margin games among the independents.